before we talk about these devil dogs stopping a crime, stopping a couple of thieves, we have to address two things. Number one, to all of you out there, Merry Christmas. I hope you guys had a very good Christmas, and I hope you guys have a very good New Year. I understand that late December, a lot of times people are not on YouTube and that they're kind of busy. I understand that, especially if you have families. And of course, that period between December the 22nd, December the 23rd time frame, all the way to about the 27th, which by the way is today, can kind of sort of be a bit of a dead spot. I understand you guys have families. I understand you guys are celebrating Christmas. I myself, of course, did as well. And of course, if you guys want to let me know how you guys' Christmas went, make sure you guys leave it in the comments section. So the second thing that we need to address is that we need to address this gentleman that was on TikTok over the weekend. Let's just see it for ourselves.
Why? Stop. Why is this thing not hot? I swear to God, if anyone says welcome to womanhood, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Dude, you're not PMSing. You just have to take a monster shit. Now do us all a favor and go see a psychiatrist. Now back to the video. Now guys, we're going to be showing you some clips and of course some news footage of what exactly happened. So let's go ahead and give you guys some background, and then I'm going to talk about small business as a whole and why this is a problem. And of course, I'm going to talk about the actual future going forward, especially as far as the, well, don't worry, we'll talk about the channel too. That's going to be in the last part of the video. But the third part of the video, of course, is going to include exactly what is going to happen as far as retail costs are concerned, because obviously this type of stuff right here does affect it. But let's go ahead and get into it. So the other day, right before Christmas, another group of thieves, and another one of these very blue areas, this one right here, of course, happened in Southern California, decided to do a smash and grab and decided to rob another place. Of course, these places being brick and mortar, small businesses, stores, which, by the way, constitute about 44% of our economy. And of course, we're going to bring this back up in the third section of the video because people oftentimes neglect small businesses, and the wokes out there who, by the way, claim that they hate Amazon, they hate everything that Amazon stands for, they don't seem to realize that these very lax policies that they have in place, which, by the way, the criminals get away with, because more than likely these people, of course, we're waiting for more information, were probably repeat offenders. You know, the woke policies that allow people to do a crime and then get away with the crime because you're not allowed to arrest them. And of course, they have any cash bail, which basically leaves these people out on the streets. And of course, the crime continues to go further and further and further through the roof. And of course, as a result of this, insurance premiums go up as well. Don't worry, we'll discuss that more in the third section. So as you guys can already tell, we're kind of sort of dealing with let's just say we're kind of dealing with the effects of wokeness here when we talk about this incident. So these guys go inside this mall. They decide to smash the place up. They decide to rob this place. You guys are seeing some footage now. And of course, somebody decided to record it with their cell phone. Now, we don't have all the angles, but let's be honest. We're living in a society now where if somebody does something, like if you have a street fight or two guys are beating the shit out of one another, they opt to pull their cell phone out now and actually record it rather than actually go get somebody, actually break it up, or actually try to put a stop to it. Well, on this day right here, what they didn't seem to realize is that a couple of Marine recruiters were nearby, and of course they helped put a stop to this. Ooorraahhh, Semper frickin' Fi, my former alma mater, doing an actual deed for the country. With that being said, let's go ahead and roll the news footage.
Hey, Roxy and Tony, good morning. It happened at the Del Amo Fashion Center here in the middle of the afternoon, and a jewelry store inside targeted by a group of would-be robbers, but there were Marines and bystanders nearby who decided to step in, and it was captured on camera. As you can see it here, the robbery happening Tuesday afternoon inside the mall at a jewelry store. 4 suspects wearing hoodies and covering their faces, using hammers to smash the glass of the display cases and grab as much jewelry as they could. And as they ran away, several Marines and bystanders held 2 of the suspects until police arrived. It turns out the Marines have a recruiting office inside the mall right next to where the robbery happened. 2 of the suspects got away, but the other 2 were taken to the ground by Marine recruiters and bystanders who heard the robbery unfold.
And then the Marines, the Marine Corps actually stepped up, the recruits. They tackled them down. 2 got away, 2 got tackled down. And, you know, they stepped it up. It's enough. Time to fight back.
It's not something authorities recommend, but Torrance police did take to social media thanking the Marine Corps recruiting South Bay for helping detain those 2 suspects. And another smash and grab last night. We'll show it to you. This one happening inside a Macy's department store in the Simi Town Center Mall in Simi Valley. The suspect breaking jewelry display cases with a pickaxe-style hammer. He takes off after a brief confrontation with bystanders, last seen hopping a fence with a duffel bag towards an apartment complex on the 1500 block of Jefferson Way. And here at the Del Amo Fashion Center, Torrance police say they were able to obtain a large amount of jewelry that those suspects were trying to steal, adding that they were minors. Reporting live in Torrance this morning. Back to you.
So, yes, you better thank God that the devil dogs were there. Of course, the Marines, they stepped up and they actually did something that, quite frankly, nobody else was wanting. Now, by the way, I'm not blaming people and the actual crowd itself. I'm not blaming people at all. I understand that you don't want to put your hands on a criminal. I understand that. These people here sometimes are very imposing. And some of these guys are actually, instead of carrying guns or anything like that, they're still carrying some form of weapon. In this case, where these guys were carrying hammers. So basically, we had a few Paul Pelosi's robbing a shopping mall in Southern California. Fact of the matter is this right here. The crime is getting rampant, and of course, the crime is driving the poverty. Now, we'll probably do a project at a later date discussing that, but the thing is this right here. A lot of times, these wokes don't seem to understand that the crap that they're advocating for is hurting the people who've actually got to flip the bill. Let me kind of break it down for you this way right here. SBA.gov. Before I decided to do this video, I did a little bit of research, of course, and it turned out that, and don't worry, I'll leave some additional links in the description box of this video, as well as the link to Gear Issue 33 and the Rumble channel. But here's the thing. Small businesses at this moment in time make up roughly 44% of this country's actual economy. Okay, that's a pretty big chunk of our economy. If these stores are getting robbed left and right, then obviously you're losing product, and at the same time, the insurance costs go up because now people have got to pay a much, much higher premium. Like I said, somebody in the comment section is going to come in here and say, well, these people have got insurance, they can cover it. That's not exactly as simple as it's not exactly as cut and dry as you think. If I have to pay a higher insurance premium every time my place gets robbed, eventually it's just only going to do, the only thing it's going to do for me is give me incentive to shut the business down, which means that all you woke-tards out there who claim to hate Amazon have only got Amazon to go to. Now, I don't know about you guys, but Walmart is great, but I don't like going into Walmart every day because, quite frankly, Walmart can be a pain in the ass. The only thing good about Walmart is the crackheads that go in there wearing their pajamas at 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't know about you guys, but as funny as that is, I can't go in there and laugh at it every day. Some of these people have got serious freaking problems. And to add to that, if somebody does choose to keep their store open and pay the higher insurance premiums, that just means that the product that they're selling is eventually going to go up in price as well because they got to have the extra revenue, which quite frankly they lost, to cover the cost and to go on top of this in some of these very blue places where they have gun-free zones, which quite frankly don't do a single thing to protect against a random shooter. I'm pretty sure you guys are kind of getting the gist here. It's just not good, and to make matters worse, the wokies out there who hate big business are simply making the matters worse by simply going out there and allowing these people to continue to rob these established places, to continue to rob these brick and mortar stores. As a matter of fact, if you have a YouTube channel, chances are you are a small-time business owner. You're actually a small business, especially if you have merchant stuff. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, you really haven't mentioned the Marines very often. Well, here's the reason why. As a prior service Marine myself, when we come home, when we are at home at any point in time, the vast majority of the time what we want to do is we want to go home and enjoy ourselves, okay? We don't want to have to be put in these situations where we have to stop criminals or anything like that. Of course, we will do it if the situation calls for it, if we're actually there. Like I said before, you should not have to do this, especially in your off time. Now, I understand these guys are recruiters and they're actually at work, but do you really truly think that these guys who are wearing their service deltas, do you really truly think they want to ruin their uniform? Do you guys really truly think that they want to do this right? Do you really truly want these guys to possibly put themselves in a situation where maybe they take down a perp and instead of the perp going down, the devil dog himself, he ends up getting arrested? As somebody who would be coming home on leave, or even if you're a recruiter, you don't want to have to do this type of stuff. This right here is a job that, quite frankly, should be on mall security or possibly law enforcement. Now, thank God these guys were taken down. Thank God these devil dogs were there. But let me also ask you another question. I want you guys to think about this really quick. What if them boys had been armed with pistols or knives instead of hammers? I want you to think about that. So, 2 Marines, even though they're on recruitment duty right now, 2 Marines, one of them gets injured or one of them gets hurt as a result of these woke policies. What does that say to the person who wants to join the military? What does that say to the guy who's actually thinking about joining, and then they see a president trade an arms dealer for a anti-American basketball player, but yet leaves another Marine Paul Whalen behind? What does that say? What does this wokeness tell the guys who are serving? And by the way, it's bad enough that right now the Marine Corps is dropping the whole sir and ma'am label. It's bad enough that that right there is going on. This right here is a great way to undermine field discipline for guys, especially if they deploy. You're only going to get more guys killed. It's bad enough that these guys have got to come home and actually got to worry about the woke tards and the wokies getting them killed here, besides also going overseas and getting killed as well. These devil dogs should not have to do this. I mean, thank God these devil dogs were there, but they should not have to do that. They should not have to actually step in and do anything. You see, the woke policies that you liberals have voted for have created an environment where law enforcement cannot do its job. And if law enforcement cannot do its job, more criminals are going to continue to repeat offend. They're going to continue to steal more shit, which, by the way, is also going to force you to do what? Possibly go somewhere like Amazon, because Amazon is going to be the only place that sells you a product that, by the way, is of actual buying price. But you guys claim that you guys hate Amazon. You guys claim that you hate big business. But yet here you are simping for big business by putting policies in place, or putting people in charge that put policies in place that destroy these brick and mortar stores and these small businesses. And now you have decided to put our own servicemen at risk to go along with this. Not in active duty, not while deployed, but while they are simply doing good old-fashioned recruitment duty in a Southern California mall. Yes, thank God the Marines were there. Thank God those devil dogs were there. Thank God they were there to put a stop to this. But I'm going to end the video on this note right here. If crime continues to get worse and worse and worse, which, by the way, is something that most people tend to agree with, whether you are a Republican, a Democrat, an independent, a moderate, or even a leftoid, you need to understand that there will eventually be a backlash of which you are not prepared for. I have said this on multiple occasions. Vigilante justice, and by the way, YouTube, I'm not advocating. I want to go ahead and throw that there. I am not advocating. Of course, this video is going to be released on the anniversary of a strike is supposed to be eliminated. I'm just simply explaining cause and effect here. If you continue to cause damage, if you continue to cause problems, everyday problems that quite frankly should not exist, if you continue to make matters worse, don't be surprised if there is not some type of backlash that you quite frankly cannot handle, and I'm not ready for. Guys, John Claymore here. If you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, give me you guys thoughts in the comment section. Tell me you guys how your Christmas went, and I will see you guys later.